Continuing from the previous episode 670. Strange, this boundless mountain can't see any dead beast? I heard from the master before that there are the fewest dead beasts in this boundless mountain, but they are the most powerful. It's really strange that they haven't encountered any dead beasts after walking for so long. Qin Shin said slowly. Tun Tun walked. After all, this boundless mountain can't see 5 fingers, and the visibility is extremely low, so thanks to Qin Shin's strength, she can only move carefully. However, as Qin Shin went deeper and deeper, she could clearly feel the unusualness of this boundless mountain. There's no breath here. In the next moment, Qin Shin shook her head, and then looked at the top of the boundless mountain through the white smoke. It seems that the rulers in this boundless mountain should be planning something, as the master said. Qin Shin's eyes narrowed slightly, and she said quite arrogantly, "Haha, she's really a little beauty." Just when Qin Shin hesitated, the space breakthrough 3 meters in front of Qin Shin trembled slightly, and then a slender figure stepped out of it. Who? What a terrifying perception Qin Shin has. When the voice just appeared, she burst into a drink. Because this figure vaguely made Qin Shin feel a rather uncomfortable suppression. This kind of feeling can only be found by a dozen or so enemies who are stronger than him. With such a terrifying suppression right now, I am afraid that the strength of this enemy is at least the level of a 7-star fighting emperor. You don't need to know who I am. What you need to know is that you can't enter here. Go back and forth from where you came from. That enchanting figure was the night cat who was guarding the mouth of Wuliang Mountain before. What if I say no? Qin Shin became slightly vigilant, because this extremely enchanting woman exuded an extremely fierce aura, which made people feel uncomfortable all of a sudden. This woman's hands and feet are extremely special, not like humans at all. Her ears are like cat-like ears, and as for the back of her body, she has a fluffy cat tail. Then I can only ask you to go out. Night Cat snorted immediately. The reason why Yi Cat is so polite to Qin Shin is because the owner is at a critical moment and must not be disturbed by others. On the other hand, Yi Cat, by virtue of his own strength of the 7-star Do Di, is able to escape from this Qin Shin. Shin felt a sense of unease. This feeling is extremely strong. Presumably there must be something in this Qin Shin that makes the Night Cat fear. Humph! What kind of shameful conspiracy is your Wu Liangshan doing? Don't think I don't know. Qin Shin immediately let out a coquettish anger. Then I can't leave you. Yi Cat's eye full of spirituality moved, and then 5 sharp claws emerged directly from the palm of his hand, and then without hesitation, he shot directly at Qin Shin. Shabu Shabu. Qin Shin's appearance is outstanding, and her strength is quite extraordinary. When the Night Cat appeared just now, Qin Shin was deliberately on guard, but now the Night Cat suddenly exploded and launched an attack, and the figure moved suddenly, instantly avoiding the fatal blow of the Night Cat. However, although Qin Shin avoided the fatal blow of the Night Cat, the remaining space was the chef's trembling. The terrifying power in the attack of the Night Cat just now caused an extremely strong vibration in this space. Go! Qin Shin is worthy of being the proud disciple of the young and old, just dodging Yi Cat's terrifying blow. Her whole body's strength suddenly emerged, then condensed in her hand, and shot at Yi Cat. Boom boom boom! Yi Cat didn't panic at all when he saw this, but his eyes became sharper. Then the 2 cats grabbed his chest and tried to defend against Qin Shin's attack with the strength of his 7-star Do Di. This guy is really arrogant. Seeing this, Qin Shin couldn't help but not relax. Instead it became heavier. The reason why this Night Cat dared to take his own attack so hard is because of his strength of the 7-star Do Emperor. Humph, your strength is a little tricky. Yi Cat took Qin Shin's seemingly terrifying blow at will, and then said with disdain. Although this Qin Shin is as beautiful as a flower, her strength at best is only in the late stage of the 6-star Do Emperor, and the latter stage of the 6-star Do Emperor and the 7-star Do Emperor are not at the same level at all. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang Yu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Co M. That's not necessarily true. In the next moment, Qin Shin laughed from the picture, with a little danger in her smile. Well? Yi Cat saw this and was about to launch an attack to capture Qin Shin, but unexpectedly Qin Shin suddenly took something out of her hand. Qin Shin slowly took out a yellow scroll from the ring with beautiful patterns engraved on her small finger. The yellow scroll is like a container that absorbs a huge amount of power. It just appeared, and the Night Cat's pupils shrank tightly. Not good. Yi Cat seemed to realize that he underestimated the enemy, and immediately shouted, and then the power of the sky suddenly burst out, trying to suppress Qin Shin. Late, Yanti in hand. Qin Shin smiled slightly, and then moved her finger, and the yellow scroll containing enormous power was instantly opened. The yellow scroll was just opened, and suddenly a huge flame-like palm slowly took shape. The flame palm just took shape, and suddenly the smoke around it receded slightly. Go! Qin Shin's eyes narrowed, and she immediately controlled the Yanti in hand to attack the Night Cat. Yanti in hand, a high-level fighting skill of the immortal rank, with flames as the main force. The peak of cultivation can once cover the sky with one hand. However, the summer hand that Qin Shin used was clearly carried by the one-time fighting skill scroll. Damn it! Seeing this, Yi Cat roared away at him with this huge hand in the sky. The scorching fire waves and the terrifying destructive power in it, he could only put aside his other thoughts and deal with it attentively. Darkness. Night Cat called out slightly, and suddenly there was a gap of 3 feet in the space in front of him. The 3 jong-sized gaps seemed to be connected to some mysterious place. Qin Shin could vaguely sense an evil force from it, and then Yi Cat made a secret gesture towards the gap. Energy surges. The next moment, it seemed that the gesture was successful, and then the Night Cat drank it, and suddenly a black beam of light piercing the sky suddenly burst out from the gap of 30 feet. The black beam of light was like a cloud-piercing arrow, piercing the tranquility of this boundless mountain, and then suddenly hit Qin Shin's one-time fighting skill scroll, Yantian's hand. Boom boom boom. As soon as the two came into contact, the hot waves of fire spread out, and the Night Cat and Qin Shin were both pouring power into them, trying to defeat their opponents with this blow. At this time, the position of Qin Shin and Yi Mao was already halfway up the mountainside of Wuliang Mountain. The terrifying fluctuation immediately made Xiao Yan and the two who were still advancing slowly find out. What kind of fluctuation is this? Xiao Yan was naturally the first to notice the terrifying fluctuation in the boundless mountain. He immediately raised his head and looked at the halfway of the boundless mountain. Where there seemed to be extremely strong flame energy, it was clearly where someone was fighting. The flame power, it seems that we should be the people who burned the incense. According to my estimation, it should be a few guys from the ground team, but I don't know who they are. After Mu Yingying finished speaking, there was a hint of doubt in her eyes. Is there any danger for the people of this team? With such terrifying fluctuations, the opponent's strength will definitely not be low. Let's go! Xiao Yan heard the words. He didn't have time to stop. The speed of the figure exploded, and he walked towards the halfway up the mountain. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 671. Cough, cough. Halfway up the Wuliang Mountain, the battle between Qin Shin and Yi Cat has come to an end. At this time, Qin Shin is being chased by Yi Cat like a bereaved dog and fleeing. Qin Shin was extremely depressed. Just when Yanti in hand was about to defeat Yi Cat, a 30-foot gap in front of Yi Cat suddenly burst out with more powerful power, causing Yi Cat's power to skyrocket. Qin Shin was defeated directly. The strong make a move, and the outcome is already decided in just a few moves. Little beauty, come out, I know you are here. You thin-skinned and tender-skinned person, how much pain I would feel if I hurt you. Night Cat twisted his waist and walked slowly, and then faced the mountain forest road. You can't defeat me. In this boundless mountain, we are the kings, undefeated existences. Come out and follow me. Maybe our master can spare your life because of your beauty. Yi Cat said leisurely. The Night Cat is a kind of cat-like dead beast. Because of its strength, it ate a moment of metamorphosis grass by mistake in the early years, and then it has the human body today, cat's eyes and cat ears. However, it has been a long time since human beings have carried out this boundless mountain. Now that the disciples of the Burning Incense Pavilion are here, the Night Cat naturally enjoys the feeling of hunting prey like this. Slowly, all the patience of the prey will be wiped away. In the end, the prey will give up resistance, and some even have a direct mental breakdown. At that time, it is the most delicious food. Although the owner said that these people cannot be killed, it is still fun. Okay. Cough cough. Qin Shin hid under a rougher tree, her body already covered with scars. Qin Shin's strength is naturally strong, and she still has some valuable things given by her master Qinglao, but Qin Shin found that in this boundless mountain, her strength seemed to be suppressed, while the strength of this Night Cat was increased. Just like being in someone else's domain. That's why Qinshin temporarily retreated. After all, it was extremely unwise to rashly use all her means before the matter was clarified. Otherwise, with Qinshin's talent, it is difficult to deal with the Nightcat in the early stage of the 7-star Do-D, but Qinshin believes that even if she can't defeat the Nightcat, she can still be invincible. I remember that the master said that there are 3 major mountain ranges in Luoling Mountain. The 5 Elements mountains are dominated by 5-element beasts. The 5-element beasts have extremely high defenses. You must break through the defenses with the power of the 5 elements to cause damage to them. The Tianmu giant beast in the Tianmu Mountains has a huge body, but it has a lot of compound eyes. It is said that it has the terrifying power of killing souls. You must be careful. It's just that the number of dead beasts in the Boundless Mountain is very small, but there is no doubt that the dead beasts in the Boundless Mountain are far superior to the other 2 mountain ranges in terms of strength and status. It's just strange, even the master doesn't know it. The details of the king in the Boundless Mountain, but this time when I participated in the competition, I told me to be careful of the Boundless Mountain. If I enter the Boundless Mountain, everything is safe. If possible, I will investigate the information of the Boundless Mountain. Qinshin, I quickly calculated in my heart. He. Little beauty, I found you. Just as Qinshin was thinking, the Nightcat suddenly appeared beside Qinshin like a ghost. Humph! Qinshin let out a snarl. Just as she was about to get up and flee, she found that she couldn't move at all. Zuzuzuzu. Looking back, Qinshin found out that she was surrounded by a cloud of black gas at some point under her feet. This time, let's see where you're going. After Ye Cat finished speaking, a burst of greed suddenly appeared in the corner of his mouth. If such a beautiful woman eats it, I am afraid that her cultivation and appearance will be greatly improved. Damn it! Qinshin secretly scolded how she could be so careless, and immediately the dazzling power of life in her body slowly emerged, trying to attack the Nightcat. Boom boom boom! Just as Nightcat was about to attack Qinshin, a giant ruler with a hot flame streaked across the sky like a shooting star, approaching Nightcat's feet. Boom boom boom! The huge flame ruler was directly inserted into the Nightcat's feet. Fortunately, the Nightcat was quick to avoid it in an instant, otherwise such a terrifying blow would probably hurt him. Who is it? Seeing this, Ye Cat smelled a dangerous aura from above the giant black ruler in front of him, and immediately became vigilant. Because of the terrifying strength above the giant ruler, Ye Cat immediately found out that this person was not good and his strength was not weak. Xiao Yan in the Hall of Humanity. The young man said dashingly, and then his figure jumped and came to Ye Cat in an instant. Damn boy! Destroy my good deeds, you can't find death. Nightcat was in a hurry, and the little beauty who had just disappeared like this, instantly became angry. Thank you, but I don't need it, Qinshin said without any appreciation. Without Xiao Yan's help, she can also deal with the Nightcat. Although the means and time used may be a little long, Qinshin has this confidence. Forget it. You still have some grudge. I have a hunch that there will be more terrifying enemies behind you. Xiao Yan laughed. In fact, Xiao Yan is also surprised, because when he just came to the halfway of Wuliang Mountain, he saw the scene of Yi Mao about to kill Qinshin. Originally, with Xiao Yan's character, he came from the same family, so naturally he would not see death without help. But even more strange, when Xiao Yan saw Qinshin, the holy flame soul seed in his body actually jumped. This shocked Xiao Yan. This saint flame soul seed in Xiao Yan's body was obtained when he subdued Long Yi Chilling in the Yin Corpse Forest, and there was a change in Qinshin's body. All these things are enough to show that even if there is no holy flame on Qinshin's body, she still knows the trace of holy flame. Otherwise the holy flame soul species that has been quiet on Xiao Yan's body would not have such strong fluctuations. Susu. 2 again. Boundless Mountain is really lively these days, Nightcat said with a slow smile. Although Xiao Yan's strength is also in the late stage of 6-star Do linked to diwww.novelmtl.com, Nightcat can feel that this Xiao Yan is more dangerous than Qinshin before. As for Mu Yingying, the strength of the mere 6-star Do-D in the early stage was naturally ignored by Ye Cat. Xiao Yan? Why does this name sound a little familiar? Qinshin just came back to her senses, and then she wondered. You are that Xiao Yan in the human palace? Xiao Yan who killed the twin ghost emperors? Qinshin suddenly said in surprise at the next moment. Why do you keep saying this? Xiao Yan shook his head helplessly, because no matter who he was, he always said that when he saw him. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem, haha, the person who killed the twin ghost emperors is a bit unbelievable. No matter what the coincidence is, since you killed it, it is enough to show your strength. I hope that one day I can also kill people in the ghost world and avenge our brothers who died under the hands of the ghost world at Fenxiang. But before that, I want to have a serious fight with you. Qin Xin said solemnly, as if she suddenly remembered something. Okay, let's settle the matter in front of you first. Xiao Yan said directly, then stared at the night cat in front of him. Although the strength of this night cat is terrifying, Xiao Yan is not afraid of it, and there is even some heat in his body. Only fighting against the strong is the fastest way to improve yourself. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 672. Don't be arrogant, this guy is very strong. Seeing that Xiao Yan was still insisting, Qin Xin opened her mouth slightly. However, Qin Xin's heart is more or less a little surprised, because Qin Xin does have such a trace of holy flame in her body. This holy flame was given to her by Yanqi at the beginning. Although it is small, it is like a flame in a different fire. Sub-fire in general. The power of the holy flame is undoubtedly strong, but the power of a trace of fire in the holy flame should not be underestimated. After all, they all come from the same holy flame. At best, the holy flame is stronger and the flame is a little weaker. In this way, not only the holy flame soul species in Xiao Yan's body has changed, but even the trace of holy flame fire in Qin Xin's body has a fatal attraction. The two of you, be careful, I'll deal with this guy. Xiao Yan finished speaking and took out the ancient eternal fire ruler that had been inserted into the ground with one hand. Just after taking it out, a huge insertion mark appeared in the ground. It was obvious that Xiao Yan had just exerted a lot of force. Don't be ashamed. Be careful of flashing your tongue. Yi Cat's sharp claws in the palm of his hand exuded an astonishing cold light, and then he said, "You'd better take care of what you're talking about first." Xiao Yan snorted coldly, and then the terrifying power of Emperor Yan suddenly radiated out, rendering the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand extremely gorgeous. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem, what a strange flame. Nightcat felt for a long time that Xiao Yan, whether it was the Emperor Yan on his body or the eternal fire eternal ruler exuding brilliant flames in his hand, were not ordinary things. Boom boom boom. Xiao Yan's hand suddenly swung the ancient ruler of eternal fire, and it was a fierce attack on Yi Cat. Yi Cat was helpless and could only be forced to defend. You are Mu Yingying. It's really beautiful. Qin Xin's beautiful eyes just saw Mu Yingying, and she was secretly surprised. This Mu Yingying's appearance is extremely outstanding. Even if she is a little confident in her appearance, she is inferior in front of Mu Yingying. Yes. Mu Yingying obviously didn't want to pay attention to Qin Xin, and then said slowly, "Hey, there seems to be something in your body." But the next moment, Mu Yingying suddenly stared at Qin Xin. Her deep eyes seemed to be able to see through Qin Xin. "What are you doing?" Qin Xin was shocked when Mu Yingying saw her like this. "It seems that something in your body is calling me." Mu Yingying said solemnly. "In my body?" Qin Xin heard the words, and immediately became quiet, and then a fiery red flame appeared in her body, suspended at the tip of her jade finger. As soon as this flame appeared, Mu Yingying's pupils shrank suddenly, and an indescribable shock surged out. "Brother," he murmured in a low voice, then stared at the fiery red flame on Qin Xin's fingertips, and said confusedly, "Brother?" Qin Xin was shocked when she heard the words, but at the moment when Mu Yingying spoke, an azure flame also emerged from above her body, and then slowly pointed towards her fingertips. Fire red flames hit. Qin Xin originally wanted to avoid it, but looking at Mu Yingying's blurred eyes and the fiery red Saint Yanzi fire, it was any Mu Yingying action. Shabu shabu. The next moment, a trace of holy flame power of azure blue gushed out from Mu Yingying's body, and then instantly disappeared into the fiery red flame in Qin Xin's fingers. The two just contacted, and immediately disappeared. How can there be such a flame? The next moment, Qin Xin and Mu Yingying said in unison. After speaking, the two looked at each other in disbelief. "This flame was left to me by a certain senior," Qin Xin said without hesitation. My flame was also left to me by my brother. Mu Yingying continued. It seems that you have a lot of secrets. Qinshin said slowly in her heart, and then ignored Mu Yingying. The flame on Mu Yingying's body is clearly a holy flame. In addition to the holy flame on Xiaoyan's body, although there is only a trace of holy flame here, it is also a real holy flame. At this time, 3 holy flames appeared abruptly here. This is a picture that has never been seen before. I can't see it, you are very ruthless. Ye Cat slowly noticed the more or less burning marks on his body, and immediately said angrily, even if one's own strength has reached the level of the 7-star Do Emperor, it is quite difficult to deal with Xiaoyan, the people of the late 6-star Do Emperor. Each other, Xiaoyan said slowly, but Xiaoyan still admired this night cat. If it were an ordinary person who was attacked by himself, it would be too much trouble, but this night cat was only injured. When it comes to the fur, it is worthy of being a 7-star duty powerhouse. Xiaoyan was slightly shocked in his heart, and then the dazzling power of Emperor Yan emerged, immediately covering the whole body, and a terrifying attack burst out. Asshole! Are you a lunatic? Nightcat was furious. This Xiaoyan's terrifying flame has a good restraint on the Nightcat. This Xiaoyan is still attacking himself like a lifeless man. If it goes on like this for a long time, I am afraid that the strength of the 7-star Do Emperor will also be exhausted. I can't hold on anymore, this kid is too weird. With a plan in his mind, Ye Cat immediately prepared to use the strongest blow to defeat Xiaoyan, otherwise it would be too late. Finally can't stand it anymore. But you have some hidden strength. Xiaoyan's keen perception naturally knew that the night cat was deliberately hiding his strength, otherwise, with Xiaoyan's strength in the late stage of the 6-star Do Emperor, even if he added divine flame, although it has restraint on night cats, the night will not be so strong. Human, you are very strong. But today you will be buried in the infinite mountains and turned into a lot of nourishment. After the night cat finished speaking, he let out a violent gloomy laugh. That's not necessarily true. Xiaoyan pouted his forehead, then glanced at the night cat at this time. Finding that the night cat at this time was enveloped by an extremely powerful force, Xiaoyan did not hesitate to see this, and raised the terrifying ancient ruler of different fire in his palm, and the 7-layered sky-shattering ruler and 3-layered simultaneously descended. Night Claw! The night cat snorted coldly, and then the surrounding area that was already controlled by the white mysterious smoke turned into bursts of rich black energy. Above the black chi, an extremely eerie aura emerged, extremely evil as if killing people's minds. Go to hell, human beings. Ye Cat made a sudden noise after finishing all this, and immediately shot away at Xiaoyan. The terrifying power caused bursts of sparks in the sky, and the terrifying destructive power made Mu Yingying and Qinshin on the side cheer up. Is this the powerhouse who defeated the twin ghost emperors, really strong? Qinshin was slightly startled, and suddenly felt the supreme flame that wiped out everything on her body for so long. This guy is really getting more and more perverted. Mu Yingying glanced slowly and said slightly, "Don't die." The next moment, Xiaoyan suddenly shouted, with a very shocking look in his mouth, and then the ancient ruler of the eternal fire on his palm was possessed by the gorgeous Emperor Yan, instantly facing Ye Cat's huge giant black gas palms away. The terrifying fluctuations suddenly collided. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 673. Boom boom boom. The dazzling flame light and black gas melted together instantly, and then the mysterious white smoke here was slowly dispelled a lot. It's really a good fluctuation. It seems that among the human beings this time, there seem to be a few very good seedlings. Alright, let's be a witness to our feast this time. After so many years, the preparatory work has been done, and the remaining dead beasts, you will fulfill me, and I will come to Xuanxin Santian with your long-cherished wish. The child at the top of the infinite mountain, in the mysterious cave said slowly. What? Shang Yuan, what did you say? The 3 major mountain ranges have lost contact and cannot enter. In the Fenxiang Pavilion, many elders headed by Qing Lao and Niu Shuji sat together, and then the Qing Lao said in a rage. Qing Lao, since the ground team and Xiaoyan's 2 teams entered, it seems that something has been set up in those 3 mountain ranges. Even if I try my best, I can't enter. This kind of thing has never happened before, so I rushed back to report as soon as possible. Shang Yuan said with a wry smile. Who else is in the three major mountain ranges now? The old man's expression was still ugly when he heard the words. Back to Qinglao, now there are 5 people from the ground team and 5 people from Shaoyan who have entered the 3 major mountain ranges. Also, your disciple Qinxin is also in the team. Shang Yuan said. Nonsense. When the old man heard the words, he was in a hurry. Qinglao, now is not the time to be in a hurry, let's think about how to solve it now. Mu Shuji also said quite painfully. These 5 Shaoyan people are now the power of their entire human hull. If there is any loss, I am afraid that Mu Shuji will tear Shang Yuan apart without hesitation. Among the 3 major mountain ranges, apart from the 5 element beasts and the giant beasts of the sky, the other dead beasts do not pose much threat to these little guys. An old man with a beard behind Mu Shuji said, Don't forget what's in the immeasurable mountains. That thing has great ambitions. The confusion this time may be related to it. The old man said solemnly. What exactly is that in the boundless mountain? As the voice of the old man fell, all the old men around became curious. That thing can be said to be the core of the entire Luoling mountain. I hope this thing is not too much, otherwise it will hurt my disciples of Fenxiang Pavilion, and I will be the first to forgive it. Go ahead and keep an eye on the news of the ground team and Shaoyan's second team. If there is any change, report it as soon as possible. Also, if the big dead beasts in Luoling Mountain really want to change, then use the power of my burning incense pavilion to kill them. The old man's voice came out slowly. After he finished speaking, the young man walked out of the conference room directly. It seems that Qinglao also loves his precious disciple. Mu Shuji smiled slowly. Shang Yuan, please pay attention, we have just received the other disciples from the 2nd division, and we just got back to burning incense to receive news of your kind. Anyone would do this, Mu Shuji said. Okay, who am I and who, am I still afraid of these? Shang Yuan rolled his eyes at Mu Shuji, but he could find that Mu Shuji cared about him from the bottom of his heart, and he couldn't help feeling a little warm in his heart. However, in this Luoling Mountain, it seems that something is just about to move, and I can't tell the specifics. I hope I think too much. Shaking his head helplessly, Shang Yuan stepped out of the conference room directly, and then moved towards Luoling Mountain. Go! Those guys from the Heavenly Palace, I don't know where they went. This time the game was without them, but it was a lot duller. Shang Yuan, the deputy head of the Earth Palace, and Mu Shuji, the deputy head of the Human Palace, I am afraid that they can walk sideways in Zan Santian. Now they are going to Luoling Mountain together, which shows the importance of this matter. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Yu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem, bastard. In the boundless mountain, the night cat was screaming continuously, because in the last blow, Shaoyan actually attacked himself directly with the trick of hurting the enemy 800 and losing 1000. Although his attack also landed on Shaoyan, apart from a few obvious scars, it did not cause much damage to Shaoyan, but the night cat was different. Under the successive attacks of Shaoyan's brilliant Emperor Yan, his body had already been injured. And Shaoyan, relying on his immortal body of cultivation, coupled with the soul-devouring talisman in his body, most of the talismans were blocked by this night cat's ghost-like attack. Tell me, who is the ruler of this boundless mountain? The next moment, Shaoyan also realized that the power in Yi Cat's body was not as strong as before, and immediately raised the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand, facing Yi Cat. Ha ha ha! Human, don't think that you can win this way. Our boundless mountain is far from being as simple as you think. Mr. Shang, the two-headed Yaling, come out soon. The next moment, Yi Cat was forced to go to a no-man's land, so he had to call out to a certain place in the boundless mountain. Ha ha ha! Night Cat, I didn't expect you to be bullied by humans one day. A deep voice slowly came from the depths of the smoke, and then a deafening voice sounded slowly. Hey, this guy should have been educated like this long ago. The province cares about our baby every day. Another voice was extremely flat. And 2 dead beasts? With the appearance of these 2 voices, Shaoyan's expression suddenly became strange. That's right, just to try the current limit. Shaoyan said with a smile. Since swallowing the holy flame, Shaoyan has not performed the 3 mysterious transformations of the Skyfire. With the addition of the power of the clan mark and the holy flame, Xiao Yan believes that the average 7-star fighting emperor will not give in too much. There are actually 2 dead beasts. Looking at the tyrannical level of the voice, I am afraid that the strength of these 2 is even more terrifying. Qin Xindai's eyes were slightly wrinkled, and she said in surprise, "No, these 2 are too strong. It really can't be done. Let's retreat first." Qin spoke directly after thinking for a while. When Qin Xin was about to go to hold Xiao Yan away, she was held back by Mu Yingying. "Trust him. Since he didn't let us go, he must have his plans." Mu Yingying said kindly, but she didn't hesitate to trust Xiao Yan. "Mr. Bear, the 2-headed Yaling, kill this human kid for me." Yi Cat's eyes flashed with a trace of anger, and then he said, "Hee, although the 3 of us are both residents of Wuliang Mountain, it would be too much for us to fight like this," said the figure called Lord Shang. "That's right." The 2-headed Yaling on the side was also in line. Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes, and a strong fighting spirit emerged. As the distance got closer, I found out that this Shang Jun is extremely muscular. I am afraid that a single blow could tear half a mountain range apart. The brown fur all over his body couldn't hide his majestic body. As for the other dead beast, it has 2 heads, but it is not as majestic as the Bear King, but it exudes a strange power, which makes people know at a glance that it is not an ordinary thing. Forget it. Since everyone is a resident here, then this time I will help you with great mercy. After Shang Jun finished speaking, his eyes suddenly stared at Xiao Yan, and a burst of disdain appeared. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 674. Stay back, let me come. Shang Jun's majestic voice came slowly, and the eyes of the 2-headed Yaling suddenly froze, and then gave way. As a veteran powerhouse in Boundless Mountain, the double-headed Yaling is naturally very aware of Mr. Shang's strength. Yi Cat, Lord Shang, and the 2-headed Yaling are the most tyrannical, even reaching the level of the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor. A powerhouse in the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, with such terrifying strength, has already reached the strength of some sect elders. Boy, this is Boundless Mountain, not a place for you to run wild. Shang Jun slowly walked towards Xiao Yan with heavy steps. With every step, the space energy of this Boundless Mountain suddenly vibrated slightly. Seeing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help but smile, even if this Shang Jun's strength was much stronger than the previous Night Cat. As for Qin Xin and Mu Yingying, they retreated some distance, and then stared at Xiao Yan attentively. Once Xiao Yan was defeated, their 2 daughters would immediately shoot without hesitation. "The 2 of you are optimistic, let me catch this guy." Shang Jun said to Yi Cat and the 2-headed Yaling behind him. The contemptuous tone in his voice was obvious. "Come here. I hope you won't let me down." Xiao Yan had a dangerous smile on the corner of his mouth, and then slowly let out an extremely crazy wave. "Look at the fist." Shang Jun's majestic body jumped suddenly, and immediately rose into the air. A terrifying wave sprouted from the furry and cute fist. "It's good to come," Xiao Yan shouted loudly, and then directly abandoned the ancient ruler of different fires, directly wrapped the dazzling Emperor Yan with his palm, and collided with Shang Jun's indestructible fist. Boom, boom, boom. The 2 had just fought, and a frightening wave suddenly erupted. "Isn't there any problem with Xiao Yan?" Qin Xin on the side said a little worriedly. After all, the strength of this Shang Jun has reached the level of the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, and the bears are powerful dead beasts. Infinite characteristics, with the advantage of this Boundless Mountain, this Shang Jun's strength can be said to be truly powerful. "Don't worry, I trust him." Mu Yingying naturally sensed the tyranny of this gentleman Shang, but because of her trust in Xiao Yan, she didn't speak. Double-headed Yaling, I don't know if you have felt that the gorgeous flame on this human boy seems to be very different. This flame is different from ordinary flames. It seems to be extremely domineering. I just suffered from that flame. Yi the cat spoke slightly weakly. He had played against Xiao Yan before, and Yi Mao knew that this guy was not as simple as he seemed. Humph. Although this guy's flame is not weak, but the night is not enough to make you feel afraid. Your strength is still so embarrassingly beaten by a human boy. I am afraid that it will spread to the other 2 mountain ranges of Luoling Mountain and will be ridiculed by others. If it is passed back to the owner, I'm afraid. The double-headed Yaling did not show any mercy to the night cat, and directly saw the needle. You Yi Cat saw the two-headed Yaling mocking himself, and immediately became unhappy. Although there were only a few of them in the boundless mountain, the relationship between them was also extremely delicate. Together, I am afraid that these three have already fought hard. Look at it. Mr. Shang makes a move. Let this kid have the ability to reach the sky, and he can only admit it. Otherwise, why do you think Shang-kun didn't let me make a move just now, and want to make it myself? The two-headed Yaling said. Could it be that Mr. Shang has discovered that this human being is unusual? Nightcat said. Look. After the two-headed Yaling finished speaking, the two heads, one red and one dark, said slowly. Boom boom boom. The terrifying force on Shang Jun's bare paw directly collided with Xiao Yan, and then Xiao Yan, not to be outdone, exploded. Shabu shabu. The next moment, just after the two attacked, Xiao Yan quickly took a few steps back to stabilize his figure. Cough cough cough. This guy really deserves to be a power type. Xiao Yan took a series of steps back to stabilize his figure, and immediately coughed violently. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Wu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS. Koem Xiao Yan naturally didn't want to rely on his own attack to defeat Lord Shang. After all, Lord Shang's strength had reached the mid-stage strength of the 7-star Do D. Even if Lord Shang didn't use all his strength now, Xiao Yan couldn't resist. Ha ha ha, human, you are the first person who dares to fight with me. If I had used all my strength just now, I'm afraid you would have no bones left. Shang Jun's furry body swayed continuously as the Majesty blew, and then burst out laughing. I just made a mistake, come again. Xiao Yan smiled and did not speak, then the Holy Flame and the Emperor Flame in the body squirmed in the body at the same time. The wriggling place is when Fenju is in the deepest part of the body. Heavenly Fire. 3 profound transformations. Emperor Yan has changed. The next moment, Xiao Yan suddenly burst out. With this loud shout, Xiao Yan's breath also soared at this moment, and in just a short time, he reached the level of 6-star Do Emperor consummation. Is there a secret method to increase strength? However, no matter how much you increase your strength, in my eyes, you are nothing but an ant. Shang Jun stared at Xiao Yan calmly, as if waiting to hunt for food. When hunting for food, the fiercer the resistance of the food, the more intelligent the food is. After all, there is no resistance to the food, but Mr. Shang disdains it. Is there a secret method to improve strength? Mu Yingying and Qin Xin felt a fiery fighting spirit like a volcano erupting from Xiao Yan's body, and then murmured. This guy is actually hiding so deeply. I originally said that I would have a good fight with him, but now it seems. Qin Xin shook her head slightly, obviously now that Xiao Yan's strength after the skyrocketing increase made Qin Xin feel a little tired, let alone fighting. It seems that it should be some kind of advanced fighting skill. It can actually use the power of flame to directly explode the strength. Although this improvement is only temporary, it is enough to solve this battle. Mu Yingying finished. Also looked at Xiao Yan in the sky. The secret method to improve strength, this human being has quite a lot of treasures. Seeing this, the two-headed Yaling and Yi Cat would invariably cast envious glances at Xiao Yan. Is the 6-star Do Emperor consummated? That's not enough. It's giving me a boost. Sacred Flame Change. A dangerous arc flashed at the corner of Xiao Yan's mouth, and then the Do Qi in his body skyrocketed. 7 stars Do D. Seeing this, the two-headed Yaling couldn't help but be startled. After Emperor Do, very few people will use the secret method to improve strength. After all, Emperor Do only sees that every rank directly contains enormous power. This is exactly the case, so few people use the secret method to improve their strength. After all, 1 damage to the source, but the gain is more than the loss. Early stage of the 7-star Do D. Mu Yingying and Qin Xin both took a deep breath and exclaimed. At this time, in the sky, on Xiao Yan's forehead, a hidden mysterious rune was looming, but Xiao Yan's eyes were quick and he touched his forehead with one hand, and the thing suddenly fell silent. The next moment, an incomparably powerful aura permeated Xiao Yan's body, and the splendid Emperor flames as many as 23 colors continued to surround him, as if the *** of fire had descended. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter.